All right. The message I got from Mike before this one is now we're cooking with gas because I say it a lot. And when I said that Viral has one of the best arcs of this entire show, I fucking meant it. Mike, Go ahead.
So this is episode 21. You are someone who ought to survive. 1 year earlier, Yoko starts working as a school teacher on an island until she learns of the situation at Teplin and returns to break Simone free. Once again reunited, Simone and the members of Team Gurren launch themselves into space to protect the Ark Gurren from the enemy forces, now accompanied by Viral as co-pilot of the Gurren Lagann. Okay, this episode starts off as almost not even from the same show.
Not even close. If you did not know who Yoko was, you would think this was a different show.
Exactly.
So remember when I told you were close?
Yep.
Next Generation, teacher, stretch it just far enough. It's there.
Yeah, she's a school teacher. That's, in hindsight, I think I recall that being I recall Yoko saying that in like a very offhand line of dialogue.
Yeah.
So you were right in that this show pays off everything. Everything from major revelations to the tiniest of offhand remarks.
It's ridiculous when you start really thinking and looking back at just random shit. They don't say dialogue. They don't need to. It's ridiculous. Man.
I'm curious what your reaction was when you first watched this episode.
What? That was literally just like, okay. I'm like, she's a superhero. And like, okay, sure, she's a teacher during the day, but she's doing vigilante justice somewhere. Something's going on.
The thing I really liked was that in her, I guess, her apartment or her lodge,
yeah,
she still has all her weapons hanging up on the wall, ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, at a moment's notice. And you get to see her look like the fucking Punisher when the time comes. Oh man. But before we get to the really, really cool stuff that happens in this episode,
because there's a lot of it.
Yeah, there is. We get a random subplot between two of the cutest kids in the entire show, Nakim and Moshe. And it's just this show made me fall in love with two kids in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're two of my favorite characters in the show, and we had them for 10 minutes. They were literally Gimme and Dari levels of awesome in no time flat.
They remind me a lot of Gimme and Dari.
Mm-hmm. And
but who else Nakim reminds me of, and I'm sure this is intentional.
Simone?
Simone and Kamina.
Yep. Oh yeah, the whole that reminds me of my dad. That was the last thing he had of me, and all this other stuff. It's so cool. And you talk about paying stuff off when Nakim goes up in the tree to get the bag that was put up there by the bullies. You get to see Yoko again because clothes restrict her movements, has to rip her dress in half just so he can see her flying up the tree, and you get to see that awesome horizon shot again. And she gets to reminisce about the first time she ever saw that with Yoko and Kamina. He's like, I saw it with a little boy. It was a lot like you. I'm just, it's so good.
I loved seeing that that shot of the horizon again.
It's so, every time they do it, it looks so good.
I get teary-eyed looking at it.
Oh, I got teary-eyed at the end of this episode, but we'll get to it. We have gotten to the point where I cry in almost every episode. It's without fail. This is just, I can't control myself emotionally when we start getting into these episodes. But yeah, when she's on this island, she's a teacher, all this stuff. She's their teacher. She's their lunch lady. She's their general caretaker. Yeah.
She's basically their she's basically the head of an orphanage, essentially. And when I said that you get to see what people really want in these upcoming episodes, Yoko goes out of her way to make sure nobody there knows who she is, because she doesn't want to be just the whatever. She wants to be the person that's living a life looking after some kids. That's all she wants. It's kind of funny how, like, anytime they even suspect that it's Yoko, she just throws the chalk at them.
With lightning inhuman speed. It goes into the wall. No chatting in class now. The freaking buckets on their heads. Oh man. It's just one of them.
It's just pure.
It's pure. One of them thought we need to have a really sweet moment episode because it's been just torture for like 4 to 5 episodes straight. We need something that's happy. And Yoko just being basically, like you said, the head of an orphanage with these kids and making them like get along. It's awesome. It's what it needs to be a little icebreaker before, pun intended, they strap a rocket to this fucker and we're going to town. And,
this episode came at just the right time. Because if you've noticed the tone of the past couple reviews, and you know, not to date this episode or anything, but tonight is the night.
Yep.
You know, we really needed this episode to like lift our spirits up.
It is, because I don't know you. I'm going to be sleeping very lightly tonight, but we're not going to be worrying about that. We are going to stay in because we are in the good shit here.
Yep.
But we're going to basically, to get in too much, we're going to talk about how awesome just Yoko is in general. What the most badass thing, in my opinion, Yoko does, and it's my favorite gif of her ever, is when she starts in her monologue after she saves Moshe and like she sees Rossio's transmission. I also love that when she's talking to the kids, it's like, yeah, just trust our government. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I love that too.
What I was getting at, the gif where Yoko plants the top of her rifle into that gunman and then rides up it, unloading a full clip into the side of it. I'm just like, that is beauty incarnate every time I see it.
Are there actual gifs of that moment?
Oh yeah, it's on Facebook. I forget what you have to do to get that to go, but that was the first thing that my buddy Chris, when he watched through it, he's tried to send me a GIF from each episode of his favorite moments, and like the ones I remember most fondly is the one sit in the hot tub till you're sick, where Simone and Kamina are like whirlwinding through all the women in the thing. And then that one when she rides the thing up, because it's awfully reminiscent of the first time when she drops down and is firing in as she swings through, taking out that very first gunman that we get to see in the show.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. Callbacks all over the place, baby.
Yep. So many callbacks.
And yeah, I will say there is one moment in the Japanese translation that I really like for this episode, because What's weird about this, everybody, like if you watch a show on Netflix and you watch it in English, but you have the subtitles on, you have the subtitles for the Japanese translation and not English. And Yoko says something to the effect of, okay, class is over. And then in the Japanese translation, it says, so endeth the lesson. I'm like, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yep.
And yeah, even after all of that, and I cannot drive this point home enough, she blows up both those mechs, and then Nakim is like, I knew it. You were the girl from our textbooks. No, I'm always going to be Miss Yomiko to you kids and nothing else.
I mean, she didn't say like, she didn't like deny that she was Yoko, but she's like, it's like the moment from Man of Steel where Jonathan Kent is like basically telling Clark who he is, and then but Clark asks, does this mean I still like, does this mean I can't still pretend to be your son? And Jonathan just says, you are my son.
Yep. Oh God, no, you got me crying. Oh, I love that moment from Man of Steel so much. Oh, that's a surrogate.
It's one of my favorites as well.
It's one of my favorite moments in a superhero movie, period. And you could tell that oh no, I forgot his name. Costner.
Kevin Costner.
His voice breaks, like genuinely breaks when he says that line. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. But anyway, that's something else. That go watch Man of Steel. If you don't like the whole thing, Kevin Costner and Henry Cavill's relationship in there, and the people that play the younger Superman, obviously, because he's not talking to him when he's older in that moment, they're really good. But yeah. When I was first watching this episode, I honestly expected it to be the entire episode.
I thought that too. And like I thought that was gonna be like the whole episode, and then we would end with the scene from the previous episode, but just in from her point of view.
Yeah, exactly. And
instead, what we got was they give you like 5 extra minutes of, okay, I'm here. I rescued Simone and Viral because times are desperate, and like Earth needs to get its shit together.
It does. And he's like, yeah, we're taking you too. I need everyone who I know is a good gunman pilot. Get the hell on board. And he's like, seriously? Viral is always just so, this is your dumb plan? Really? I've been trying to kill you for years. I'm coming with you? Whatever. Okay.
It's the moment where Viral like knows that he's in an anime. So it's like, well, I guess this is the part in the script when I'm supposed to join you.
Yep. It's the moment for me where Viral starts to act like a Team Gurren member. Because, and obviously we'll get to that, like the second where he's just like, who you of all people, Viral, know I'm always serious. And then he just gets up, he's like, all right, I'm gonna have to at least see what the hell you're gonna do. And then, dude, that moment, he's not out of that jail for 2 seconds and he already has the cordial again.
Mm-hmm. Because say it with us now, Keaton is the best.
He is the best. He's just like, we can't fix this shit without you, so get your ass up out of here. And I was really expecting for them to pull another, who is this guy again? Well, joke. I thought they were honestly going to do it when Viral was standing there, but I guess they could only have that every 4 to 5 episodes, so they filled that quota with Genome in the tank. But yeah, man, the literal whole damn team is there.
It's all the OGs.
It is. Even Buddha comes up and immediately, has to nestle in Yoko's cleavage. Just as small as ever, huh? Except he's having trouble getting in because Yoko obviously grew up since then.
Mm-hmm.
We can at least comfortably somewhat make these comments and she's of age.
I gotta wonder if like this is part of the reason for the time skip.
I bet in the back of their heads they're kind of like, this will help with the thing. But it's like, we get the whatever, it gets it solves basically all of their like problems, I guess. But yeah, like I have been waiting. We meet Viral in episode 3. I've been waiting 18 episodes for you to get to see where Viral gets. And his arc ain't even close to being done. But it finally got to the point of where I wanted to ask you, if I would have told you in episode 3 that General, or I want to say, was he Captain? I don't remember exactly what his role was, of the Human Annihilation Circuit East Quarter, that 18 episodes later, he would be co-piloting Gurren Lagann with Simone to save the day against the series' big bad.
I'll say this. I knew because this is anime and because Viral's arc was as great as it is, in hindsight, kind of predictable. Yeah. I figured he'd join Team Gurren. Mm-hmm. I didn't think he'd be literally in Gurren Lagann.
Yes. Because you think about this, you went from Kamina was the co-pilot. Kamina dies. Rasyu was the co-pilot.
Rasyu's a dick.
Is a dick. What happens? The guy who fought Kamina and got punished severely through Rasyu's rule and rules is the guy who's going to pilot it with Simone. It's just like, it goes to be like, I can't say it enough. There is almost no actual villains in this show. It's weird.
The main antagonist, even as we're witnessing like the anti-spiral be the anti-spiral, really the show's main antagonist is doubt, despair, human emotion, negative human emotions.
Yep.
And spiral, anti-spiral is the basically metaphors for like human emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Which leads me to the no shit Sherlock moment of Rasyu.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the Arc Gurren is in space, but they're surrounded because they're evil.
Yep.
They're evil, and this is only episode 21.
Yes.
So they're surrounded, and they're not having a good time up there. So Rasyu, in his no shit Sherlock moment, says, how is it possible that this thing is run on human emotions? As if he wasn't paying attention to anything.
He's this is the point where you get to see just how trapped in his own fucking head Rasyu is. You used to co-pilot Gurren Lagann. Simone literally, when you're fighting Lord Genome, goes, please believe in me, Rasyu. I beg of you, don't give up on me. And Nia, if people believe in you is what gives you strength, I believe in you with every fiber of my being. And you're so obsessed with thinking that you can do things without relying on spiral power that when you're surrounded by the 2 Death Stars and people are worried and you're like, Are you serious? I've been wrong this entire time?
No shit, Sherlock.
It's like, and to drive that home, I cannot say enough how Simone is my favorite anime and favorite protagonist ever. Screw anime. He's my favorite protagonist in anything ever. This is just another moment of, okay, well, all right, we're screwed. Our barrages are down. Spiral energy is failing. They're about to kill us. And
Simone comes busting in saying, let me stop you right there. Yeah. Knock it off. Get your shit together. And let's finish this.
Let's finish this. I didn't give up on you yet, dude. We're going to finish. And you get to fucking hear
who
Viral, who you think I am, from fucking Viral.
And you said this, and you said we're not even done.
No! We're not even close. Viral gets so much fucking cooler.
I love it.
I was so happy when you told me you got attached to Viral. I was just like, you picked one of the best people to get attached to in the entire show. Because, man, and like, we didn't even talk about how... Okay, so we got a problem. We need to go into space. It just so happened in the past 15 minutes while you guys were bickering and we're really smart that we outfitted these bad boys for space battle. And then you have to think, though, how in their own rules, how outrageous is that? They have a population of 1 million people and built a super futuristic society in 7 years. Is them making them space compatible in roughly 2 days that far out?
Also, they mentioned that Liran was the one who helped them with all this. Did he do it behind Rossio's back?
I think he might have.
I'm pretty sure he did, because Liran is he's the den mother of Team Gurren.
He borderline is the den mother of humanity. Let's be real here. He's another one of those silent MVPs in the show that where it's just like, you don't see him a whole lot, but he's one of the most important people there. He's basically what the opposite version of Keaton is, but even though you see him, you do see Liran quite a bit. Keaton's were up forward, taking care of the business end of things, and Liran's in the background just kind of going, this kid's kind of nuts, so just in case. Oh, man. And you get that, like, we didn't say it in the last episode, but there's a really good line from either Dayaka says it to Keaton or Keaton says it to Dayaka. I believe Keaton says it to Dayaka about how, I guess the sky has I guess the surface has a ceiling now too. And that's
when that line was uttered, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, so we're doing this. We're doing this.
We're doing it. And they're just like, all right, we're breaking through it. The first episode was them breaking through. I'm going to try and refrain myself from every episode going, so remember when they were fighting a thing that couldn't move in a 100-foot cave? Because it's going to get redundant, and I could say it almost every episode moving forward. But yeah, we're now finally to the point where Rossiu is coming down from Super Dictator just slightly, and we actually have Team Daigerin together again.
Finally.
It took, what episode are we in?
This is 21.
So it took us 4. In grandstand, speaking of things, it didn't take very long for us to get everything, quote unquote, fixed with Team Daigerin, but it felt like an eternity because of how sad it was.
Yeah.
Man. It did. I just... the metaphors for the show with self-worth and believing in yourself is it. I'm glad we're doing this during the like the whole world's quarantined and it's kind of hard to find a good light in anything. This is something that I have to try and tell myself consistently. You can't worry about what ifs and all this shit. You have to try and move on. You have to try and get going forward, and relenting on bad things in the grand scheme of things is not going to help. And just the moment where Simone does not ask Rossiu does not want forgiveness. He wants to, of all things, save that dick bag. Mm-hmm. And everybody aboard. It's just, you're getting into the nit and grit of why I love this fucking show so much. And it's the writing. To me, it's just, you don't have the excuse shit that I hate a lot about the CW shows, where it's just like, we're just not going to solve the problem for 13 episodes because we need to have a 24 episode run. No, we're going to act like fucking adults and realize the situation is what the situation is. Yeah,
this series has, for a 27 episode anime, and again, we're still ways to go, but so far, I think this had some of the smartest writing, and even in like the dour episodes, they still peppered in the humor that we all come to know and love.
Oh yeah.
And this episode has a lot more of it, which is great.
Yes. Like you said, we needed it.
we really did.
Yep.
And anything else we're missing from this episode?
I'm trying to think if it was in this. Now that you mentioned humor, I'm trying to think. Yes, it was in this episode. It was either Jorgun or Balinbo when Leite is talking to them. She's mentioning how the suits were meant for atmospheric reentry. And he's just like, atmospheric reentry? What is that? Can you eat it? Like, God damn it. They're so just a one-hit note character, but God damn it, they nail it on the head every time they give them dialogue. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, not everybody has to have huge roles. If they only have to come on screen, do the joke, and leave.
Like Attenborough.
Exactly. Fire the missiles! He's pretty much the freaking, is that History of the World? No, that's not History of the World. That was long before that. Oh, man. That is me being an old man. That is one of the first YouTube videos I've ever seen. I can't even remember what it's called.
I think it's like something wars.
Yeah, because it's France. He's like, fire the missiles! We cannot do it. You must wait. All right, tomorrow we'll do that. But then we'll fire the missiles. If anyone in the comments can remember what the hell that YouTube video is, that has got to be one of the first big hits on YouTube. I don't remember what it is, but anyway. Yeah, I don't think we missed anything. I don't think we did.
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Okay, Mike. I don't know how often you're actually going to have things to add to this, but would you change anything?
At this point, I don't think so.
Okay. I honestly don't foresee you wanting to change a lot. If at this point you're good with how things are rolling, you're pretty much going to be on board with everything going forward. At least to me.
I think at this point we've reached the point of no return.
Oh, if anyone got in the, I will say right now, I challenge someone. If you were enjoying this show and you got to this point and somehow are like, yeah, I've seen enough of it.
I have no idea what to tell you.
You need to see someone special because you have a different type of resolve that I've never seen in a person my entire life. All right. Got 2 more episodes to go in this recording session, so we need to get cracking. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Captain K42. Check out all my quick thought reviews on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. Check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Check out all our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, wherever. And then last but not least, don't forget to check out renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Yes, we do. And yeah, like I'll keep it short and simple. Everywhere at Organite Zero, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I do technically have a Facebook page, even though I haven't uploaded anything on it. There's some cosplay photos, but that's about it. Yeah, we will see you guys in the next one. I love you. Spin on. We'll see you next time.
Peace.